What's up, everyone? It is Diecastbuffet here again. Guys, we have a 1999 Ricky Rudd Racing Champions tied for choice in the studio today. And it is in this really cool packaging. I mean, not only is it in a card back, right? But it also has a ARC Gold Series style box. I mean, that's how cool diecasts were back in the early 90s and late 90s, early 2000s. You get literally double packaging. That's insane. Anyways, we're going to take a closer look at it, folks. All right, folks, here we go. So this one's really interesting for me. So this is the first time I've ever had one of these packages in the studio where it has like I'm going to call it the double box, where you have like your plastic clamshell and then the ARC style box. But this little shelf tag right here, retail tag, is perplexing to me. So I have a couple of theories about this. So I've never been to KB Toys. I've never really seen these tags before. This is probably a original tag that was on the car when it first was stocked, I'm assuming. And they put it on there, or I'm say original, but they probably put it on there after it was discounted. It sat on the shelf long enough. And had 2 for $5. So I have kind of a theory about this, and I wonder what this 04 and this 0 means. Sometimes on shelf retail tags, and not to dork out here, they also put the date on there. So does this mean April of 2000 because it has the O for just 2000? Or is this just completely irrelevant? Or 04 is their department? I have no idea. But that's really fascinating to me. If that is indeed a date, which I don't think it is, that means they discounted it in April of 2000 and then someone bought it thereafter. I could be tripping on that. It's probably completely false. But you know what? I like to talk about diecast. So check out the packaging. Oh my goodness. So you have the Ricky Rudd signature. It is behind this little tag. Then you have the 10-year anniversary for Racing Champions. You have the signature driver series. You have Ricky Rudd right here, kind of a NASCAR Thunder cutout when you're doing your driver select screen. You have the nice fade gradient. You have this really cool pattern in the background. You have the stock image of the car, or looks like a track photograph, either or. Driver signature on chassis, diecast bodies and chassis, real rubber tires. I'm telling you, I'm already geeked up reading those 3 lines right there, man. That's a good way to advertise a product, you know. You go to the back panel of it, and this is just like, this takes you back, man. I mean, look at this. It's like, offer available while supplies last. Offer expires 9/30/99. So this tells me that this was probably a early release. I'm assuming if their end date is right at the end of September, I imagine this would have been on the shelf maybe January, maybe February, maybe March, give or take, because you got to look at this. Please allow 6 to 8 weeks for delivery. That used to be a real thing, folks. I mean, I'm telling you, cats nowadays, you buy something and it arrives in 3 days. I mean, these cats talking about almost 2 months. That is crazy. And then you don't even know if you ordered your product, because this is back when they used to do, money orders or some crap. And if you sent it there to the wrong address, you don't even know. So you're just waiting and it never comes in. Absolutely crazy. Here's also the bottom of the package. It's a pretty worn packaging here, but you even have a driver signature box. If you went to the racetrack, and you could do that as well. Just awesome stuff. Really cool. This one is a overproduced diecast, so don't worry. We're going to go ahead and open it up, and I'll be right back. Check this out, folks. So you see how look how like faded and worn the diecast looks, right? Check this out. Pop this out. Bam! Look how new the diecast looks. This is remarkable. That bubble dome, I mean, yeah, you can clearly tell it's seen better days. But look at the box. Oh my goodness, the box design is pretty much flawless. I mean, yeah, there's yellowed plastic interior, but I mean, this car looks amazing. So let's take a closer look at the box design. This is going to be a little bit of an adventure diecast review. I've never done one of these Racing Champions double box style diecast reviews. So check this out. So you have the Ricky Rudd Racing Champions Driver Signature Series. This is a hood open diecast. It's got rubber tires. It says real rubber tires, so I'm going to take their word for it. You got the little artwork there. Really cool box design. I mean, could you imagine if we got this style box, right? Just the artwork and stuff for the 2025s. That would have been so dope to have like a, you could have like Todd Gilliland, Kyle Larson, Ty Gibbs, whoever, and have like an image of their car, correlating to the paint scheme. I mean, just look how cool the box design would be. Now, this would obviously need some work, right? You need to change something about this. But the thing is, you don't see this part while it's inside of the thing. So I can understand that. What an awesome box design here. Fantastic stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully open this thing up. Again, we're going to try to do this live here. We're going to try to. Let's see if I can gently open this up. Oh, boy. This thing has never been opened before, and it's been sitting in that package, and I'm afraid the cardboard is going to be kind of probably a little bit easy to break. I don't want to tear it, so yeah, it feels like the cardboard is like stuck behind this flap here, so I don't want to tear it. Let's see. There we go. Come on. And nope. Oh wait, there's tape. I am an idiot. I am a complete idiot. There's tape there. Wow. I learn something new every day. I told you I've never opened one of these before. So there's freaking tape. I was wondering why. I am absolutely tripping over here, guys. I had no idea they put tape on them. So that's another level of protection. So if the thing got opened up and this fell on the floor, at least the flaps would not open. I mean, like, it's literally like triple protected. That is remarkable. Like, I'm not even going to hold you. That is absolutely remarkable stuff. And here we go. First time opened up in 26 years. We have... Look, this is very similar to the IndyCar boxes a little bit. This kind of reminds me of this little red flap right here. That reminds me of the IndyCar 164 boxes. All right, go ahead and pull this. Let's see if we can get this out of the package. Oh boy, I don't want to break the car. There we go. Let's just go ahead and set this to the side. Let me clean up the studio, and I'll be right back. Wow. What a diecast here in the studio, fellas. So, unfortunately, with a lot of these Racing Champions diecasts, as I've said probably 1,000 times now, they're aging pretty badly, right? You can see a bunch of cracked decals. If you don't believe me, I'm going to zoom in here. Focus. There we go. Look at the number 10 on the door panel. You can see a ton of little lines in it. This is not normal. You can see it on the deck lid right there where it says Whirlpool. There's a lot of cracks. Even on the roof, look at that number 1 right there. So, unfortunately, this one has seen better days. I'm curious, how did they get the hood to stay open? Does it have a lock? Let's see. Does it close or what? I'm curious because sometimes they have a little peg that like you can move it and it locks into different positions. I don't know. That's interesting. So you have a hood open diecast here, and the hood's. I mean, it's functional, right? I'm trying to get it to close. I guess that's how you just kind of force it down. I don't know. I've never used one of these diecasts before. I'm trying not to break it, because these diecasts can be pretty fragile. Okay, so I couldn't get the freaking hood open on the diecast, and yeah, I had to kind of pry it back open. So something tells me this was not properly put together or something, because it doesn't close all the way. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's exactly how it's supposed to be. Anyways, I don't want to have to pry this thing open again, because it'd probably break it. For those who don't know, these Racing Champions cars can have pretty fragile metal. So you have the engine detail in here, which is kind of hard to see, but I mean that is amazing. Like the engine detail there, like you could take that engine part out, and you could do like a damaged custom of like a current day cup car, and you could definitely use something like that. I say current day. It wouldn't work with a current day cup car because the engines are so covered up. But I mean like an Xfinity or a truck or something. But you close it down there, and I don't know. It feels like it's not. Something is not right here underneath the dashboard. It's not going all the way down easily. It should be pretty easy. But then again, this thing has been hood opened for 26 years, so clearly it has to be pretty darn strong. So you go to the front of the diecast, you have those iconic Catfish Ford Taurus headlights there. Got Ford right there, which is above the grill. Got Taurus, got Plastalock, Moog, and 76 right there. Go to the left side of the diecast. Now, you might be noticing how goofy the diecast mold is. Yes, the Racing Champions diecast molds were not exactly the most realistic. Just see how interesting the diecast mold is. It looks kind of like an off-road car, to be honest with you. The wheels look really cool, but they're just way too large. I love that red line there. That is really cool. Even the prints look good, and apparently these are real rubber tires. I can't tell the difference between a synthetic tire or a real tire, but they look really cool. Except they're just really unrealistically proportioned. Here's a look at the bottom of the car. This is the same diecast mold they used for a number of years in the late 90s, and that looks a lot like a rear diffuser on a next-gen car. I'm not even going to hold you. Like, look at that. That looks so much like a rear diffuser on a next-gen car. I am not even going to hold you. That is crazy. Get the Ricky Rudd signature, which it does mention on the card back, so that's a cool little thing. Some of them, I think, actually had a DIN number on it. So you have like 4 AC Delco decals on the B post. You got Ricky Rudd there, or did I say Ricky Rudd? Ricky Rudd. Got Whirlpool. The yellow looks bright. The white looks good. The orange is good. So everything about the paint looks right. It's bright like it's supposed to be. You get Tide, Downy, Don. I'm not sure what that little decal is there on the bottom. Got We Care. Got Exxon, Coca-Cola, something underneath that. I can't tell half these logos. Some of them are just not really defined. Got Mac Tools there. NASCAR race car, Goodyear, Clevite, Bowman, Spicer, Aeroquip. I don't know what the book that is. Mechanics wear, I think. Autometer, True Value, 3M. Got Goodyear. Go to the back panel of the diecast. This looks really goofy to me. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. So not only is there a ton of overspray, right? There is no rear tail lights, and the fluorescent they sprayed bubbled down here. It looks like, because you could see some spots. Fluorescent paint is pretty thin, right? You sprayed on top of white, and that's how you get the fluorescent. But that looks like they sprayed too much, and maybe it ran down. I don't know. Maybe the can or air spray, whatever they used, spit. But yeah, that's interesting. So you got the number 10. I mean, the gradient kind of looks cool, but I mean, one side is, got a lot of fade to it, and one side has more of a inconsistent line. I don't know. This is Racing Champions. This is why I've said for years on this channel, look, I try to put the most quality diecast in my collection as I possibly can, right? But I collected a bunch of Racing Champions cars growing up because they were really affordable, right? And that's the only thing that I can really look at Racing Champions and say they had amazing value for their diecast, right? Apparently this car was $5 at the time, which I'm not really sure if that's 100% true or not, because Racing Champions cars would be $2 in the mid 2000s. But this one has, is that metal or plastic? I think it's metal. It's so lightweight, but I think it's actually metal, and then it had the rubber tires. So that's probably why the price is up. Not to mention it has a double box. So that makes sense for the late 90s price point. Also, there's a paint chip there. That's not fun. But what my point is with the Racing Champions cars is that if you really don't look for the accuracy in terms of the diecast mold and the quality, they're of super good value. But if you really like quality, you really like accuracy, they might not be the option for you. So my point is there is a demographic for it, but they're not aging very well. I mean, you could see all the cracks in the decals. I mean, I would hate to look at some of these cars 10 years from now, right? This is filmed in right at the end of April in 2024. So you can imagine what these cars are going to look like as time goes on, as the decal cracks continue to cover over these cars. I got Whirlpool right there. And then it's a two-tone spoiler as well. One side actually has a matte. Is that matte finish? Hold on. I am curious. I apologize for the horrible camera angle. Yeah, look at that. Wow. So I give them credit. They actually took the time to put a matte spoiler, and then they made the other side fluorescent orange. So that is kind of cool. I give them props for that. But yeah, there's a ton of these floating out there. They made these for like almost every driver they had under their diecast umbrella. So you can get all kinds of them. In my honest opinion, though, is it really worth it? I don't know. I mean, that's up to you. right? That's up to you. But I just will say caution is that the diecast metal is not very strong. So I had one of these cars, and it was a 2002, I think it was. I think it was a Jerry Nadeau. And it was a hood open car like this. And literally the front pillars broke. And the whole front panel of the car came apart. It was a hood open. So there's, it's a very thin area of metal right here that's holding a lot. And it literally broke, and it was pretty much just junk after that, right? I think I took the parts out of it, and I think I used them on a wrecked custom or something. But that's my point, is that every year these things get more and more fragile. And there's a megalodon of them out there. So I don't know. I don't really know the right answer to it, but I try to go for more of the action winner circle ones myself. That's all for now, though. I really appreciate everyone watching the video. If you love Racing Champions, absolutely respect it, because I know growing up I collected a lot of them. I'm just worried they're all going to fall apart. Like, I'm going to pick the car up one day, and the rivets and everything's just going to fall out like a wet paper bag or something. That's all for now. Diecastbuffet, signing off. Also, check out the diecast. Look how different. This is what I'm talking about with the accuracy.